Elon announces a delivery event. Radar has officially met its end with Tesla. Your in-cabin camera finally has a purpose. Tesla gets a great security endorsement, and much, much more. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 654 for the week of May 23rd and May 30th, 2021. I combined 2 weeks due to the light news for the week of the 23rd, but didn't want to leave the couple of stories out of the show completely from that week, so this one's a double header, so to speak. The week of May 30th is Memorial Day here in the U.S., so I would be remiss if I didn't express my immense gratitude to all those who have served my country and extend my utmost appreciation to all veterans, families, and friends of those we've lost in the line of duty. Please know that as for me, their sacrifices will never be forgotten or taken for granted. We kicked this week off with the info that everyone has been waiting for. The Plaid Model S and Model X was supposed to be delivering months ago, but Elon sent us a date, and there's even a full event around it. Quote, Tesla Model S Plaid Delivery event June 3rd at our California factory. Fastest production car ever, 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds, end quote. And then he later delayed it to June 10th, saying, quote, Model S Plaid Delivery pushed to June 10th. Needs one more week of tweak. This car feels like a spaceship. Words cannot describe the limbic resonance, end quote. Curious as to the fact that we're getting a full event here. This typically only happens when there's some sort of info to convey. I'm personally at a loss as to what it may be. It would make sense to give Cybertruck info at a Model S celebration. Maybe we get some battery updates or FSD updates. That seems most likely to me. Give me some feedback. What do you think we're going to hear? Hit me up on Twitter and email with your thoughts. Next up is a story that would have been the lead if not for the Plaid Delivery event. This comes from Louis Bathello17, I think I got that right, on Twitter, who was the first in my stream to post the news. Folks, we heard the rumblings, but radar is no more on Tesla vehicles. Lewis posted a before and after screenshot of the autopilot page, which previously declared 160 meters of forward-facing radar, and now has been replaced with 250 meters of powerful visual processing. Now obviously this is humongous news just on its face, but for me, the bigger news might be a touch more subtle. Elon has been saying for a long time that pure vision is the way to go for full self-driving, and now the autopilot team has ostensibly replaced a function that was previously handled by dedicated hardware with software and vision alone. To me, this solidifies Elon's stance on full self-driving being achievable via pure vision. If you can reliably dispense with radar, it's very much proof of concept that LiDAR is nothing to even bother with from the start if your software is already advanced enough to handle the forward-facing object recognition and distance prediction. That's half the battle of full self-driving right there. With 5 more cameras holding it down for the left, right, and rear of the car, there's no reason to believe that Tesla won't be able to will full self-driving via pure vision into existence. In another story that normally would have been the lead story, tidbit number 3 comes to us from Teslarati, letting us know that Tesla has enabled the cabin camera on cars equipped with the technology. In the release notes on the car, Tesla says, quote, the cabin camera above your rearview mirror can now detect and alert driver inattentiveness while autopilot is engaged. Camera data does not leave the car itself, which means the system cannot save or transmit information unless data sharing is enabled. To change your data settings, tap Controls, Safety and Security, Data Sharing on your car's touchscreen, end quote. Well, finally we can stop hearing from autopilot haters that the system is a danger to everyone without visual driver monitoring. To me, this is a good feature anyhow, regardless of the haters. It will eventually be obsolete when true full self-driving is complete, but for now, when humans are ultimately still responsible for the operation of the vehicle, this is a great feature to ensure that people are paying attention to the road, and it is a vast improvement over the torque sensing on the steering wheel. One of our favorite Tesla hackers, Green the Only, posted some test videos to his Twitter feed showing the system at work. It definitely gives some grace to be sure, but it gets it right in the end. I personally feel it's a good balance of ensuring that it really is seeing a lack of attention versus nagging the crap out of you with false alerts when you're actually paying attention. We stay with Teslarati for tidbit number 4, where we get some more detail on the structural battery pack that Tesla will be plugging their new 4680 cells into. A patent filing brought to light a safety feature of the pack, citing multiple ways in which the bottom of the pack could be built to ensure the integrity of the battery in the event of an impact from the bottom, like for instance running over road debris, as well as contingencies for thermal runaway. From the patent filing, quote, illustratively, an integrated unitary battery pack may be formed and used as part of the structural support for a vehicle frame. For example, the battery pack may include a bottom layer that is formed from a honeycomb or ridged surface, which is mechanically linked to the cells within the battery pack. The bottom layer is designed so that it can absorb and distribute impact energy from below, mitigating potential damage of sensitive battery materials or breach of the sealed battery pack enclosure, ellipsis. In one embodiment, the bottom layer is made from a material that has sufficient stiffness and strength to support the battery cells and react to mechanical loads from normal vehicle operation, but can also deform in response to a road strike from below that would otherwise cause failure in the battery pack system. In addition to creating a flexible or crushable structure, the series of ridges can allow gases to escape from the battery pack should damage occur to a particular cell, or in the event of a thermal runaway occurring within one or more cells of the battery pack. End quote. That seems to lay out exactly what we heard on Battery Day, but with far more detail than we were privy to then. Tidbit number 5 this week is a look at the Senate bill in the U.S. looking to update the EV tax incentives, courtesy of Clean Technica. First and foremost, all EVs will qualify for the credit, regardless of sales by a brand. This is obviously tremendous news for Tesla, as they get back in on the action for incentives. On top of that, though, if a vehicle is made in the U.S., you can tack on an additional $2,500 onto the rebate. And further, add another $2,500 on if that vehicle is made by union workers. Even further is a bonus to the credit for being made in the U.S. After December 31st, 2025, the credit increases from $2,500 to $5,000. So the maximum credit before that date that you can get is $12,500 for an EV built in the U.S. and by union labor. After that, you can get a whopping $15,000 credit, and that's just from federal tax incentives. That doesn't even include any incentives that you might get from your state. However, there are also 2 more major changes to the credit as opposed to the previous one that's a positive and the other being a drawback. The first that previously was not there is on the MSRP of the vehicle. In order to qualify, the vehicle MSRP must be below $80,000. However, the other mechanism that was not there previously was that you actually had to owe that amount of taxes in order to get the full amount. Now, this is not the case. This helps more people at lower incomes afford EVs, as many people didn't actually owe $7,500 in taxes, and therefore did not get the full benefit of the credit. Our final tidbit this week comes again where my professional and hobby lives meet. Famed, or infamous, depending on your view, hacker Kevin Mitnick tweeted out his plans to order a Tesla Roadster. Being Kevin is very much aware of IT security, the fact that he plans to purchase one of the most connected cars in the world speaks volumes for his confidence in Tesla's security and privacy practices. If he feels confident owning a Tesla, anyone should be confident in owning a Tesla. That'll do it for this week's show. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. And as always, a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Todd Sullivan, Zortec LED Canada, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Nathan Garza, Ed Patterman, Sunil Joseph, and Brad Lettner. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Until next week, keep it charged and hit the road.